Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome once again to another episode of the Mom series. Today I have here a black shining diamond. I have here a family member as well, and she's a mom of two gorgeous girls. And it's good to have somebody that's been there, done that twice, right? So should be sharing her experience of our two girls, what she went through for both of them, and how it is currently. So I'll be asking her a couple of questions. She'll be answering me. So yeah, so please introduce yourself.
Hi there, it's so nice to be here and to be speaking with you. This is a very important and necessary thing to discuss and to bring up, right? So yeah, thank you very much for the platform and for the opportunity. So my name is Moyeluwa Ojo. How do I introduce myself to you now? Okay, Derayo's sister is married to my brother, so
We are sisters basically.
we are in-laws, kind of. Yeah, it's about me. And I have two beautiful baby girls.
I'm just going to ask firstly like random questions. So the first one, do
Mhm.
you feel like motherhood expectations are unrealistic?
I gave myself my own expectations, so I'm fine with that. Don't know. I'm
So
fine with whatever expectations you have of me or of any other person. So I just made my own expectations and I ran with it.
okay. Are you a typical African mom?
It depends in what sense. If it is in the sense of beating, well, maybe beating and shouting, yes, definitely. But maybe in sense of other things, maybe not. I don't know. Other things like believing that you should give babies pap or that you have to give baby put pepper in their mouth if they are not eating well to encourage them to eat. All those things I don't care much about them. I don't believe them. But screaming and shouting and beating, oh yes, please.
Pardon me. All right. Okay. Do you feel like you are a good mom?
Oh my god. Mm. I don't know. There are times where you feel like you're not doing enough, of course. And there are times where I feel like I'm doing the best I can. So based off of that, please, I just move. Tomorrow or the next minute is always another opportunity to do better. So yeah. I'm thankful for a good partner also that is always able to check me when maybe he feels that I'm not doing things rightly. You just tell me that I should do better, and yeah, so that's helpful.
Okay. And to the question, the Mama Barry question, do you want to have more kids?
No, 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 no. No, done, 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 done.
So
People are expecting baby boy, but me, I
you
tell
don't want
them,
another baby.
please have the boy for me. I have the boy on my behalf. Any other baby that you want, you have it for me. Even if you're 53 years old and you're telling me that another baby is coming, please just have the baby. I'm okay with that.
Okay. So these next questions are just going to be around your experiences as a mom, and your pregnancy experience, what went down, and all of that. You had two different pregnancies, right? I'm sure they were two different pregnancies, and for
Yeah.
what I know, they were totally two different pregnancies, right? So can you share what went down in your pregnancy for the
Yes,
two
it's very
girls?
different.
Yeah, can you share your experience for the two girls, and the pregnancy, like their pregnancies and then their delivery, and how you dealt with postpartum for both of them?
Okay. Okay, so probably going to be a long talk. So the name of my first baby is Eni, and the second one is Sitobi or Iriayomide. So in case I'm just mentioning names, you don't get
Yeah,
confused, right?
yeah.
So Eni's pregnancy was wonderful. Oh my God, wonderful in a wonderful
That's the
sense of it.
otherwise.
Um, so in his pregnancy, I think the ways I found out about both pregnancies was in not having my regular periods, right? Menstrual periods, and I'm like, I'm late. And then because I'm married, obviously, go and buy
Yeah,
test kit and you do the test, and then see if it is positive or not.
yeah.
So, in his pregnancy, I was already telling my cousin that. my cousin Mary. I
Yeah.
was already telling her that my menstruation is late to blah 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 blah. But then we were preparing for something for a family event, and I just did not check. I was like, I was going to check later on and stuff. And we were even gisting about and suspecting one other family member that it's like that person is pregnant, but we are not going to say anything when she comes until she comes to tell us by herself and all of that. Sha. So I found out that Ini was pregnant. I'm sorry, that I was pregnant with
Yeah.
Ini
With
in
me. Yeah.
April 2020, right? And like the following week, or maybe I'm not even sure if it was up to a week, I felt I started falling sick. Like I just became ill. Okay, so it was not like I suddenly became ill. It was,
Mm-hmm.
let me explain something. I was in my parents' house because, like I said, we had a family event. So,
Yeah.
and I was in my parents' house, and maybe a day before that or 2 days before that, my mom had made this wonderful goat meat pepper soup,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
like I could not stop having it. Like I really enjoyed it. Then I did the pregnancy test, and I knew I was pregnant. And afterwards, I told her to make the same goat meat pepper soup for me, and it
Mm-hmm.
became the most irritating thing ever. Like the smell of it as they were cooking it, or as they
Mm-hmm.
were even warming it. That when you try to eat something, it was just terrible. How was I even feeling? I was just very, very out of it. And from there, it started becoming, I was vomiting severally. I was just ill. I had no energy. And so it was just terrible. Like, smell of anything going into my mouth was just vomiting, vomiting. So I now, at some point, like, they would tell you that one thing that I hated that they used to tell me then was that it is normal. I
Yeah.
hated hearing that it is normal because my husband's friends had gotten married a bit earlier than us, and they've also gotten pregnant, had children, and all of that. And none of them went through sickness like this and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So why
Why
tell
is
my own
normal?
that
How
is
is it
normal?
normal? Yeah.
So I was like, um, so I just made a point for myself. I think the first time that I vomited up to 7 times in a day, and without eating anything, I was just vomiting up to 7 times in a
Wow.
day, and I did not eat. I just was like, okay, yeah, let's go to the hospital, and then they had to admit me till the next day to pass trip and be like, oh, just to help you to have some energy and to return the things that your body had lost in all
Yeah.
the blah blah blah. So that was it for that. So that happened, I think the first time it happened, they discharged me the second time, the next day. And thankfully, companies were just recovering from opening back,
COVID.
like from the
Yeah.
COVID break and all of that. So I was
Yeah.
still working from home during all of that time. So once I
Yeah.
got to the day again, I bundled myself to the hospital. They eventually admit me and stuff. So now I remember one time that we went to the hospital very late at night, and maybe when we got to the hospital, the doctor gave me all this their ORS thing that I should go and drink
Yeah.
and all of that, and one other drug and stuff like that. I, we're just like going back in the car that night. We had to park for me somewhere to still vomit and all of that. And when that did not really even work, my
Mm-hmm.
husband just, and I was still not really eating. Oh yes, I also had constipation. One, I will talk about that though. My husband had to change my food routine at some point to just having um ogi,
Yeah.
gari and
Mm-hmm.
oats. So that was what I was taking for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Repeat the next day because they were bland meals and did not have
Yeah.
any taste. And accept that at some point, not at that beginning stage still. At that
Yeah.
beginning stage, I think what I was basically depending on was crackers,
Yeah.
biscuits, as
Yeah.
advised by my husband, who was also a doctor and I had just given birth around that time. So I would just take crackers and then take water that was flavored with lemon, like
Yeah.
natural, normal lemon. Buy
Yeah.
lemon and put a slice of it in water. It's not like I would not still vomit. I will still vomit it at the end of the day.
But
And I
yeah.
also tried to take fruits because normally I like fruits, right? And
Yeah.
during pregnancy, again, you're encouraged even more
Yeah.
to take fruit. So I'll try to take watermelon. It is if it stay. I love mangoes.
Yeah.
That was
I
one of the
know.
things that pained me the most because I'll be seeing mango like this and I could not take it. Anytime I try to take it, I'll vomit it again. I'll just be like, oh my god. I was just literally on the bed. In fact, the vomiting was so bad that I love cooking, like watching
Yeah.
food vlogs, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like CCME and all of those
Yeah.
wonderful people, even American food vloggers. I just watch baking and all of that because I like baking normally. So it became bad that at some point watching food videos online was irritating. Okay, yeah. So the final admission in the hospital was a time that I was admitted for like it was over a week. I was
Yeah.
just taking drip basically during that whole period. I loved my family extra more during that time because they would always come to the hospital in the evening. Sometimes before my daddy goes to work in the morning, he would drop by with
Yeah.
fruit, with food, and anything that they could really offer, pepper soup and all of that. Try to
Mm-hmm.
take it. Actually, my cousin that was with me, thankfully, very, very super, super thankful for Mary, as in she was amazing.
Yeah.
And at some point, it looked like I was vomiting some cloth.
Wow.
Like it was really, really bad. I had no energy. Mary was literally birthing me every day in the hospital. Then it was very, very. I lost. I think I was looking. I was looking like bone. I lost like was it about 5 to 7 kg. Then
Wow.
like for doing nothing. I
But we
just
were doing
was
nothing.
oh yeah. I lost like 7 kg then, and my another of my cousins would say that that now that they see me, they understand the
You
reason why the
know?
pregnancy was like that because it is an energy
Energy.
house,
Yeah.
powerhouse. Somewhere around 11 weeks into the pregnancy, there's someone I used to, of course, there are people that you follow on Instagram. It's like Instagram finds out these things. So,
Yeah.
like Dr. Zobo, I think she's always talking about women health and pregnancy and all of those. So
Yeah.
I've seen on her page before that, during pregnancy, spotting can be normal, but if
Yeah.
it does happen, you should always check it out, right? So that
Yeah.
particular day, I was just in the sitting room and I felt like something come out of me, and I was just went to check it out and I saw that it was blood. Oh, we bundled ourselves to the hospital, myself and my husband.
Mm-hmm.
We were told that we had to do a scan, so we went to do the scan, blah blah blah. After we did the scan revealed that my cervix was short. So we they had to schedule us to see a gynae that same night. So we
Yeah.
saw the gynae, and the gynae gave us like options. It told us that okay, so this is what has actually happened, or this is what the scan result has shown.
Yeah.
That you have an option to do this particular procedure, which is called a Cerclage procedure, or you have the option to keep faith and hope that everything will be okay, right? Because if you don't do the Cerclage and you decide to keep what it means in essence by your cervix being short is that as the baby grows bigger, there is the possibility of the cervix not being able to hold the baby
Hold on
in,
to the
so it
baby. Yeah.
opens and then miscarriage can happen, right? So the
Yeah.
Cerclage procedure is like them sewing the tip.
The cervix.
Sha, the cervix looks like a balloon. So like
Yeah.
sewing
Yeah.
it short a hair so that the baby can grow and the cervix can grow as it needs to without the baby popping out. So we decided to do the procedure, and the procedure is timed. Like you can only do it maybe within the 12 to 14 weeks period of your pregnancy.
Yeah.
After then, you won't be able to do the Cerclage procedure again. Like maybe it's not advisable to or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we shall decided to do the Cerclage procedure. I don't want to ever go through that again.
Maybe and
It was wonderful. It was
you were just
wonderful.
like 11 weeks here when you did the procedure.
Yes, when we found out about it, so we did the procedure like maybe when I was 12 weeks because it was something they had to schedule. Like we had to do
Yeah,
it as soon as possible and
and then you had already gone through the whole not eating,
gone
not
through all of
throwing
that.
up, being in the hospital, taking drip, and they had to.
As I entered into my second trimester, I got most of my energy back. Most of
Okay,
it. I was still
yeah,
vomiting here and there, of course, but it was not like I was always feeling sick again. Like that
Yeah.
kind of first trimester sickness, I did not go
Yeah.
through it again. I was just the vomiting just continued once in a while and all. Then T's pregnancy, that's Tito, second baby.
Yeah.
That was, in fact, we waited till after first trimester before we told every other person around us. Like before we told our friends, our family, my parents, my husband's parents. Like we just waited that let us see how this
How
one
this will
goes. If it
go.
is not, if 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 I don't fall sick like them in Israel, then we just keep watching. But then if I start falling sick and it becomes something that we need to actually tell people because we need help, oh, then
Yeah.
we cannot tell them. But it was really not bad. As in, I think I only vomited maybe like once or like twice, less than 5 times or thereabout throughout the entire 9 months. Like it was different.
Wow.
Two different pregnancies with serious difference in the experience. People usually say it, and it was really what I experienced. Very
Yeah,
different
I mean,
experiences.
yeah, they say it a lot that two no they generally say that two women cannot have the same pregnancy, and then even a woman cannot have the same pregnancy. And whatever you experience in with your first baby is definitely not what you experience with your second baby. Because in my opinion, I
Honestly.
feel that they come with their own gene, they come with their own personality.
Yes,
So there's no way they would be the same
yes.
thing. Even if you have
In
twins,
fact,
right? Even if you have
In
twins.
fact, I thought Tito was going to be a boy because, like I said, there are lots of old women's tales that I don't believe. But
Yeah.
because of the way everything was going so smoothly, and people will say, "Oh, baby boy's pregnancy is smoother than his girl's pregnancy," I was thinking that, "Oh, first time in my life, let me even believe what these people are saying." When I went
Yeah.
to do scan and I saw that it was a girl, I was in denial almost till like 7 months. I
Are you
was in
serious?
denial for a very, very long time.
I
Yeah,
want to talk about the
yeah.
delivery for both of them and then your recovery process and the postpartum and support system.
Okay, so delivery for a knee. Okay, so I had the knee when we were like, I was about like 39 weeks and 5 days, and during the night, I think I felt my water break while I was trying to sleep, but I really did not know what the whole expectation was supposed to be. Was it that
Yeah.
my water broke? Yeah, yeah. I think so. So like I was feeling these contractions during the night around like past 11 p.m. during the night. So I
Yeah.
was already like, okay. I was just trying to watch it, and then it will wake me up again sometimes
Mm-hmm.
as I was trying to. And I just told my husband that it seems baby is coming. So we were just in the kitchen. I had bought some protein the day before, and I was like, okay, with the contractions, I was like, okay, let me try to arrange this turkey and fish first. So I
Yeah.
was frying them before we go to the hospital. So as we were doing that, myself and my husband called our parents and we told them, "Oh, we'll be going
The
to the
baby's
hospital
coming
later.
out.
Oh, blah
Yeah.
blah blah." Sorry, before we even get to delivery, right? They
Yeah.
removed the cerclage.
Oh yeah.
Like when you get into the last month of your pregnancy, about 36 or 37 weeks, they would remove the cerclage because the baby is now safe to come at any time. So they had done that. So we're just in the delivery room now for the labor, monitoring the contraction. So we had even started monitoring before we left the house in the morning.
Yeah.
And so that was part of the information they asked us at the hospital, and we gave them all of that information. So we were just watching, and it started getting intense as usual, as you would expect it to, and getting also close together. I think the delivery really progressed quite normally, as you would
Mm-hmm.
expect. I'm using normally because there was no complication. The only
Yeah.
thing that happened was that I vomited again twice. Once was on the nurse.
Are you serious? Nigerian nurse. How did she take it?
Honestly, she was actually very wonderful. I mean,
Ah,
she
good.
was very, very wonderful. I think she was very, very wonderful.
Yeah.
So we started noticing contractions from around past 11 during the night, and I had her, I think, around evening
Yeah.
or so.
Yeah.
Yes, around maybe past 3 or to 4 or past 4, around that time frame. That was when we had her. I'm trying to remember if I said, I don't think I said anything bad in the labor room, in the delivery room. No,
Was the
the only
husband reaching the labor room? I'm sorry, in the delivery
But
room.
he was with me. He was with me. And it is something I always say that I don't know how I would have done it if he was not with me. I mean, it was necessary for all those squeezes and all
Yeah.
those crapping and all those. Hey, I was like, how do people even go through this? Yes, I think that is. How do people think this is normal? Like, that's probably one of the things that I said. Because, no, it was just a wonderful experience. And I'm glad I got to experience it. Then postpartum. So I live about 15 minutes away from my parents' house.
Yeah.
And my parents and my parents in law live like a street away from one another.
Yes.
So support is. Oh, then my brother was also living like 5 minutes away
5 minutes
from me.
away. The
So
support
like I
was
had a
like
lot of
everywhere.
support. And the support was pouring.
Yeah.
The support was everywhere. So once I had the baby, I think both my mommy and my mother-in-law are very tight friends. Like
Yeah.
they usually wear the same clothes to everywhere kind of friends. So both of them came together to the hospital. They decided on who was going to stay over. The other one would be the chef, bringing food every day and
Yeah.
all of that. The other one will stay over, that kind of thing. So I think we got discharged like maybe 2 days after,
Mhm.
and then I went to my parents in-laws place, and I think that was it for in its
Yeah.
postpartum. So after about a week I came back to my own house, and then I think my husband's mom was still coming over to stay. Yeah, I think she still stayed for a bit. Then my mom also came maybe like once to stay and all of that. But like to sleep over. But during the day,
Yeah.
they were always coming. They were always trying to find out how is baby, what are you doing? My brother too will come, my daddy will come. Everybody was
Everybody.
shouting and bring. Even Dara yourself came before she flew away. Everybody was always coming and checking on us. Like support is really, really important, and
Yeah.
I'm glad I enjoyed it. I'm glad I live so close to my parents. Like very, very important support. So for Iria's pregnancy, sorry, that's Tito. For our own delivery, I got swollen. Then I had to do the Cerclage procedure again. So you're advised
Oh,
that once you did it for your first pregnancy or for a prior
yeah.
pregnancy, you
Yeah.
should continue doing it. Even though when I did the scan for our own pregnancy, it showed that
Yeah.
my cervix was normal,
But
but
they
the
just
doctor
still wanted you
still
to.
advised, yes, that I
Yeah.
still do the Cerclage procedure. That maybe
Yeah.
there was a wrong measurement in the first one or in the second one. We shall did it. Myself and my husband, let us do something at least to even feel in the season, right? So we
Yeah.
hosted our cousins on January 1st. Then at that night of the going into January 2nd, I also started feeling
Important.
contractions and all. This one, auntie, our water did not break. I think they broke the thing by themselves in the hospital. Our own water did not break. And there was a time that after waiting for like, I wanted to mention something. The way my husband dressed for this second delivery. You will know that it's good to have experience, because as he was even spraying himself, I'm like, this
Uh-uh.
man, you want cap, what wristwatch, what trousers.
Uh-uh.
I'm like, wow. This time also, in this pregnancy, I was looking very weird because I was just on low cut. So this time around, I had said, let me put some effort into the way I look. So I had Ghana weaving on and all of that. So I was looking quite okay, right? Then
Yeah.
I was playing a song and waiting for the contractions
Mm-hmm.
to progress where they put us. And I was just playing Oba Alanu by Judy K and also one other
Yeah.
song. Like I was just only for nurse to come and check us after what we probably thought was like 2 hours. And the nurse was like that we had not really progressed.
Ah.
I'm like, and for me, the contractions had gotten worse than when I
Intense.
initially came to the hospital. I'm like,
Yeah.
it have not progressed. How? That's how we shall started though. Prayer and speaking in tongues, because
Yeah.
it gonna progress. It's supposed to
Yes.
progress. What do you mean that it not progress? I was like 4 centimeter or something. And I'm like, we are
Wow.
still going to 10 centimeter. And you're
Same.
telling me that it's not progress. Ah, Sha, I think it was maybe like 3 hours after. I was like, at some point, I was like, Bobs, I want to pull. Go and call them. Then I now ran out to go and call them. They came to check. I was still not yet 10 centimeters. I think at the time they even finally told me to start pushing. I was not yet at 10
10.
centimeter, but least she could feel the baby's head,
Yeah.
or like it was very close already, I guess. So, and because I've been disturbing them, because it's not me that
Yeah.
people are going to kill with this pain that is increasing, and you're telling me that
Yeah,
dilation
not
is not
diluted.
bad. No.
Okay. How does having two kids make you feel? Like, especially the fact that they are girls, they're two girls. How do you feel? Do you see them and you're like, oh, I'm so lucky? Or like how does it make you feel generally?
Okay, how does it make me feel? Okay, I'm very pleased. I'm very happy, and I feel blessed to have both of them in my life. I mean, they're like people that eventually they seem like, where have you been all this time? Like
Yeah.
I read a post on my status some days ago, and I'm like, I can't believe he knew was that little, because she looks like this girl that me I've seen now. Like she has always been like that, and sometimes I'll just tell her that if I beat you, like it's just it's just very precious to have them, and
Yeah.
you feel like they've always been there. Like that's just the way it is now. Like people are very, and watching them do the things that they do. You know, you mentioned at the beginning that they come with their own personalities. As
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
seeing them grow into those personalities is a treasure. It
Wow.
is a treasure to witness, to have them, to witness, to go through the experience of pregnancy, delivery, and all of that, like the
Yeah.
aftermath, postpartum, and the afterlife of delivery, anyways, to
Yeah.
watching them grow from being that very helpless little baby girl that
Yeah.
totally relied on you to even turn them over or
Mm-hmm.
to
To
do
carry them to stand
anything,
up.
to now
Yeah.
that Tito is screaming at me. I mean, it's really wonderful. It's an honor. It's a treasure, honestly.
Like has motherhood changed you in any way, or you're still the same way that you were when you married 2020, or you're not the same way?
How did motherhood change me? Aside from the fact that I'm just very busy now, like
Mm-hmm.
there are lots of things to do in a day. I mean, now like this, I still need to make their hair today, need to prepare them for school tomorrow, because Tito
Mm-hmm.
goes to crèche. So prepare her for
Okay.
crèche, you need for school. It's the same place. Me,
Mm.
I'm also going to work tomorrow. I work hybrid, but tomorrow is a week that I have to go on a Monday. So like
Yeah.
that's the thoughts in my head is just what's the next plan, what's the next plan, what's the next. Aside from that, nothing has changed. Oh, money. Oh Lord, spending money. That is also something that has changed because uh, babies are not cheap, as they say, babies are not cheap. But aside from that, money, personality wise,
Yeah.
same. Very, very same.
Are there any trauma that you're still struggling with that came from pregnancy or with childbirth, or having to change your life like that, being a mother? Are there like any trauma? Like, did you at any point in time did you go through anything that really like took a toll on you? Like, do you used to have them, or did you ever go through anything like that?
No, I never went through anything like that though. I never went through anything that was so serious or anything that I don't know. Aside from the illness, from like sometimes
Yeah.
there was a time that I would remember in this pregnancy, and I would just have shivers, but like that first trimester part
Yeah.
and all the
Yeah.
illnesses and all of that. I mean, but not anymore.
So, what advice will you give a new mom, assuming she doesn't have support? Yeah, assuming that she doesn't have support, and she's just a new mom generally, just going through this for the first time. What advice would you give her?
My advice, honestly, would just be to take things easy. And you're already a mom, but if you were not married, I would have probably said make sure you marry a kind person. Let's first start
Okay.
from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that is very important first. And then after this delivery, after you have gone through this process, number one, you have to constantly have conversations with your husband with
Mm-hmm.
regards to this pregnancy. Like as much as you can, I believe in communication a lot, actually.
Yeah.
So as much
Yeah.
as you can, let him know, like step by step, what you are going through.
Yeah.
As much as you
Yeah.
can explain, as much as you can bring him in, let
Yeah.
him know what you are going through. Every time you need his help, let him know that you need his help. And I hope
Mm-hmm.
that he is willing to render that help
Oh,
to you as much as he needs. And you would
yeah.
also want to inform him and discuss with him things you already know that might happen in postpartum,
Okay.
right? All those baby don't sleep, babies don't really sleep, or even the
Mm-hmm.
moms don't. When before I got married, or maybe before I even had the baby, I used to wonder how people are already usually so strong. Or no, not even before I got married. Before I got married, I had no idea that maybe almost everybody have tears, for example. Like that the
Yeah.
population of women that have tears is a lot. I did not even
Mm-hmm.
have any thought of that. But after I got married and I got pregnant, I used to wonder how people usually look so strong on
Outside.
7 days after delivery, naming ceremony,
Mm-hmm.
you are dancing and you are jumping up and down. And are you not feeling pain? Like
Yeah.
all of that. So like it's very like there was a lot of things me myself, for example, did not even know about getting pregnant or even going through the 9 months. During this pregnancy, I was like, "Ah, can it be 9 months? Like you mean actual 9 months of me feeling like this? Like
Mm-hmm.
it is too long. It is just too
Yeah.
long." So I feel even if as a lady I did not know those things, there's a possibility you also don't know, meaning that you have to make lots of
No.
researches,
Yeah.
lots of research, find out as much as you can. Don't consume wrong information, please. Don't let people
Mm-hmm.
scare you. don't
Mm-hmm.
don't be jittery. I hope you are strong in your heart, in your mind, and I hope you believe in God, because one thing I would
Yeah.
always say is that hold on to God.
Yeah.
Hold on to God. Very, very important. There's a testimony I would probably give forever, is that during in this pregnancy, there was a time that it felt like Holy Spirit was literally beside me, holding me and
Mm-hmm.
hugging me and telling me that it was going to be okay. So
Mm-hmm.
and it was not as if I was in a prayer season, or like it was
Mm-hmm.
a moment, it was an entire period of illness and sickness and weakness. Like I've
Mm-hmm.
literally never felt like that in my life before.
Yeah.
So it is very important that you hold on to God, marry a kind partner, communicate as much as you can, and also discuss expectations after delivery.
Yeah.
Very, very important things to do.
What advice would you like to give men out there to to their wives or to their pregnant wives or their wives, not their wives, no, this is not marital counseling, to their pregnant wives?
Hmm.
What advice would you give to men for that?
Maybe I have a lot, but number one,
Mm.
believe everything your wife tells you. I don't really care much about cravings. Like, I'm not sure I had cravings like that.
Yeah.
But just believe everything she tells you, even if it is the cravings. Even if you can't get it, just believe everything she tells you. Because,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, in my own experience, we have friends around us that were also pregnant or that already had children and did not go
Mm-hmm.
through what I went through. So,
Yeah.
like, the information and my experience and everything that was happening to me was
It's
looking
different.
very weird to my
Yeah.
husband. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, it was even weird to me because all I knew about pregnancy was what I had watched in Oyinbo Nigerian film. Ah,
Yeah.
ojú ẹ̀ ti funfun. Ah, ẹ wo ọwọ́
Aware.
ẹ̀. All those kind of.
Yeah.
So to now come into it and now be falling sick, and I'm the one experiencing it. My spouse, as much as I can explain it to him or tell him about it, he can
Mm-hmm.
only feel like from my explanation, he does not actually know what I am going through. So believe your
Mm-hmm.
wife. Don't compare pregnancies. Don't compare our experience with other people's experiences or what other people have told you about their experiences. It's very unnecessary. As much as she needs you, please be there for her.
Yeah.
And even before she requests for your help in some cases, as much as you can help, just help. Really, just help. Just be there. And don't hand her over to mother or mother-in-law. That one is also an important thing. Yes,
Yeah.
because it's not everybody that it's not even about you being comfortable. For me
The
now, there
boss.
are lots
Yeah.
of things that I feel like it is both of us that are going through this thing, and it is both
Mm-hmm.
of us that should walk through it. Don't be absent and tell me that I should go and meet somebody else when I
Yeah, because she's
expect that you are the
older
one
and all
that
that.
we should be doing it together, right?
Yeah.
So don't. And except she's fine with you handing her over, like very, very fine with you handing her over, then fine. But as much as you can be there, as much as you can listen to her, as much as you can support, give back massages, give foot rubs, buy pepper soup, pamper her, baby her, do everything that you can
Give her push
to make her
gift.
feel as comfortable. Give her push gift to
Yeah.
everything, and if you can't, very, very important, please be in the delivery room with her.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that experience is not just for her, it is also for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just grateful to God, honestly, because it was 1000 times percent better with him being there with me. And I hope you're able to do same for your wife.
Okay, thank you so much for everything that you've shared. Thank you for sharing your experience. I am one that say that sharing your experience also makes you appreciate what you've gone through, understanding that you're able to go through what you went through, right? Because the part of the world that we come from, we usually don't like to share experience. We rather just we give God thanks. It went well. The storm is over. All those kind of things. But I think that when you share your experience, it even makes you feel better. It even makes you like if
Yeah.
you're even still in the problem, it makes you heal faster if you share your experience
Yeah.
because it makes you realize that this could have gone this way, but it didn't go this way. But at least I still have what I have. So thank you for coming to our episode of for honoring our platform, our big platform, right? So thank
Thank
you
you
guys
for
for
having me,
watching
Derayo.
to
Ah,
the
wait, I forgot to mention how Derayo was my support too. Oh, it's a lie. I must talk about it. I don't know how or even why. Ah, Derayo just started reaching out to me. Like normally we would chat, oh, but
Mhm.
Derayo was just like reaching out to me on a constant basis. It became like once every week, maybe like on a
Yeah,
Saturday or on a Sunday. I really can't remember. And she would
yeah.
just ask me, hi Moye, how are you doing today? Blah blah blah. And I'll be like, oh, Derayo, I'm good. Blah 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 blah. I was looking forward to those messages, Derayo, like
You're
every
welcome.
week.
You're
If he's
welcome.
not reach out to me, I'll probably be like, oh, I think we in those times when you don't reach out, maybe on the day I'm expecting you to reach out, and you eventually do, I'll be like, work has been very hectic, Abi, and
Yeah.
things like that, because it was just constant. Like it was a moment I looked forward to, and I'm very,
You're
very,
welcome.
very, 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 very grateful for it. Very, very
You're
grateful for
welcome.
it. I have that one from in his own, and I'm very,
Mhm.
very grateful for you,
You're
Derayo.
welcome.
Thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
being a support, a very strong, available, and present support. As in, I'm grateful. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, guys. Thank you for watching up until this point. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. And then if you have questions, because I know that this morning zone, she has some big grammar. If you have questions, please drop them in the comment sections and I'll answer them. I should also answer them too for the ones that she can. See you guys in my next one. Bye.